Release the Kraken!
Greetings, fellow game designers. Ron here at Lame Duck Studios, and today we are going to be taking our objects out of Maya and getting them into Unity. Woohoo! Go ahead and sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Alright, let's go ahead and jump back into Maya real quick. And what you really want to do is make sure that your object is positioned the same way it's going to be in the world of Unity. So if I jump into Unity here, and I grab my camera, I jump into my scene view, there's my camera, and if I look at my camera is facing down the z-axis. That means what I want is that my objects are standing up, that the flat side of the object is facing down the z-axis as well. So I'm going to jump back into Maya here. Here's the ball that I made. I'm going to go ahead and export this. So you can see the z-axis down here. And if I were to go into a front view, because our front view looks down the z-axis, you can see this is going to be what the player sees for the ball. Well, no good. This needs to be facing down this axis. So pretty easy. I'm going to go over to the rotation X and just throw in 90 degrees there. And now the ball is oriented in the correct direction. And it's very important that the ball, or any object you export that is going to be sitting by itself, is on the center axis. You can see how the crisscross of my red lines here, where that falls in the middle, this is the center. So if I go ahead and grab the widget of that object, take a look at it, you can see the widget is right smack dab in the center. That's the widget there. If yours is floating off center somewhere, no big deal. Hold down the X key and then drag it to the middle. Okay, do that again. Hold down X, you'll see that change. Grab the middle, you see how it's a square. I'll go drag it to the middle. You might have to zoom in on that to get a good view, but there it is, there's my cross. And it's right smack dab in the middle. Okay, if you find that your widget is not in the middle of your object, let's say your widget is over here. Well, if you were to center this, that would be a problem, right? So to center your widget, the easiest way to do that is to come up, if you're in Maya 2018 or better, you're going to have the center pivot right here. It's just a little circle with a little crosshair on it. If you hit that, it'll center the widget, and then I can then hold down X and then drag that to the center. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and clear out my controls over here and make sure that this is all ready to go. So go to Modify and then go down to Freeze Transforms. That's going to set everything to 0. So the default rotation of this object is going to be in this position. And then it's going to set my scales back to 1. And then I also want to get rid of my inputs. Any values that are here under inputs, we want to clear those out. So let's go up to Edit and then go down to Delete by Type and then History. That's going to get rid of the construction history. That way this is going in as a clean object. Okay. Go ahead and go back into my textured view. And this is ready to go out. I'll grab that. File. Export Selection. And I really should make a Unity folder in here, but it's whatever. I'm going to name this one Ball. In the drop down here for file type, let's go ahead and make this an FBX export. If you don't see it, you can scroll. Okay. In the settings over here, we'll go ahead and just collapse this down. We want to go to animation and make sure that animation is unchecked. And then it usually is checked by default, so just make sure it's unchecked. And then under geometry, we want to make sure that the smoothing groups is also checked. This one's also off by default. We should have these 3 on. And then hit export. There it goes. So that's the first object. I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way. Now that I have these frozen, I can always zero that out and it'll go back. So, yay. And I grab my paddle, and you can see my paddle has that problem where the widget is not center. I'm going to go ahead and hit the center widget button, or center pivot. There it is. I'm going to hold down the X key. And we go into wireframe here by pushing 4. Hold down the X key and drag that to the middle here. Again, I'm holding X and then clicking in the middle and dragging. Okay, so that's dead center, which is good. And then I'm going to rotate this so that it is facing the camera and my front view. So press 6 to get my color back. And then I'll go down to my rotate, and I'll do that as 90 degrees. These should be 0 by default. Hopefully there's nothing in them. I'm going to go ahead and hit 90. There it is. Rotated, good and ready. I'm going to go ahead and clear the my position and my transform, so go ahead and modify. Freeze transform. That'll set all that back to default. And then the history, I'll go to Edit, Delete by Type, and then History. Okay. Go ahead and grab that. Go to File. Just so you know, there is a Send to Unity button. What this does is it lets you choose the file path ahead of time, and then you can just export directly to Unity. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and do this in a separate step. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Export Selection. And then same deal. Just make sure that geometry and animation have been set correctly. So animation and geometry are good. I'll make this my paddle. Go ahead and export. And let's go jump into Unity. So to import to Unity, pretty easy. Just go ahead and grab a File Explorer, which is this little thing down here. And then navigate to your Maya folder. So mine's in Documents, and then Maya, and then Project, Default, and then Scenes. That's the default folder. And I'm going to look for the ball. Oh, look, it's right there. And drag that in. I'm going to also look for the paddle. I'll use this one, drag that one in. So here's the paddle, here's the ball. And if you click the tab on that, you can see the paddle came in with 2 shaders and then a model. You can see those down here. Same thing with the ball. It came in with 2 shaders and the model. One thing we're going to want to do is make sure that we get these imported. So technically they're in there with the object, but they're not assigned to a shader. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So grab the paddle and then go up to Materials. And you can see we have the Extract option for Materials here. So Material, Extract Materials. It's going to ask you where you want to save this. It should be in your Pong folder. So mine's in Pong, Assets. And I'm going to make a folder in here called Materials. So Materials. And then I'll just choose that folder, so Select Folder. And there we go. So that's going to make those and make those into separate materials that we can have access to. And the reason we're going to do that is later I'm going to have the ball and the light of the paddle and basically the light of the ball. Those are going to change whenever we hit back and forth. Now for the ball, we're not going to extract the materials. In this case, because we've already extracted them from the paddle, and you can see in my materials folder here, they're already here. We don't need to extract them a second time. I'll just grab the ball. I'm going to go ahead and add them here. So I'll grab my light color, and then I'll grab the paddle color. And there are 2 of them here. I'm just going to grab the first 2 in the list. Okay, and I'll hit Apply. Now when I do that, you can see it's going to turn pink. Okay, the reason it turned pink is it suddenly doesn't have the colors. It goes, oh my God, what happened? What happened was we basically said, hey, we remapped this, but we removed the old colors, right? So let's go ahead and just reset these. I'll hit Apply again. There we go. So now this has those colors. This one has those colors. You can see that they've been extracted from the folders here, or from the asset. So this is just the object with colors applied from here. Let's go ahead and add these in. Don't worry about our error down here. Once we refresh, that should go away. I'm going to go to my paddle, hit the drop down. I'll do that for both. Come here, you. I'm going to drag the paddle asset to paddle 1. Now when I do that, I'll go ahead and press F to frame up on it. You can see that this is a lot smaller than my paddle object. So what I'm going to do is grab my paddle, the new one. I'm going to go ahead and scale that. So grab the scale tool. You can hit the R key to bring that up. I'm just going to grab the middle box and scale in all directions until it's about the size of the paddle there. Looks about right. Take it down just a little bit. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and just do that again for the other one. So I'm going to drag the other one in, drop it in. I'm going to take the scale values that are here. I'll go ahead and just copy. And I will paste that. There's the other one. I'll press F to frame up. You can see that my other one is the other direction, but we're going to fix that in just a second. Let's go ahead and get rid of the cubes. We no longer need those. So I'll go ahead and grab the cube piece, delete that. I'll jump back over to paddle 1, press F to frame on it. Grab the cube piece, delete that. So there's paddle 1, there's paddle 2. If I go to game view, you can see them. Awesome. But they're actually pretty far away. I'm going to go ahead and move these in a little bit. So I'll grab paddle 1. Make sure I grab the parent, not the child. Give my move tool. Drag my game view in. I'll just make sure that I get these the good size here. So drag this one in just a little bit. For my other one, so this is position 13, so I'm going to go ahead and just do the position for my paddle 2 as a negative 13. A little bit better. Okay, so one thing I want to correct is my paddle 2 is facing the wrong way. Let's go ahead and fix that over here. So I'll take the paddle object, not the parent, and I'll come over here. And one trick you can do, see if I were to flip this, if I go to rotation, I do 180. Because I never made a backside to this, I'm going to see the flat side, which isn't very fun. But a trick that you can do, if you only have one side, I'll go ahead and set that back to 0, is to come down to the scale, and I'll go to my X scale, and I'll just make the first scale, so my X scale, a negative value. And that'll flip it. Hey, that's convenient. And if I hit play, I should still be able to move the paddles, and they should operate. Woohoo! Alright, go ahead and stop that. Let's go ahead and add in the ball. So let's go ahead and create an empty object. So right click in the hierarchy view here and do create empty. Call that ball. I'm going to set that ball position to 0. So 0x, 0y, 0z. So 0, 0, 0. I'm going to take the ball object and drop that in. I missed. I'm going to go ahead and just make sure I get that into the parent there. Make sure that's at 0, 0, 0. It is. Good, good. Let's adjust the size of that. So I'm going to go ahead and do, let's do 5. Oh, it's way too big. Hit play and see what that looks like. It's a little better, but my camera's really far. So I'm going to grab my camera. I'll zoom that in just a bit. Okay, it looks pretty good from there. Got some lighting effects going on, got that going on. I do think I want the ball to be a little bit bigger. Maybe we'll do a 3. Good enough. And I think that's going to do it for this particular video. Make sure you save your work, and I shall see you next time. Hey guys, thanks for checking out the channel. Misty and I both thank you. If you enjoyed that video you just watched, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, I'm getting into NFTs. Those are big these days. I was thinking about creating my own coin, but we'll get into that at a later date. But NFTs are pretty hot right now. I'm converting my artwork to NFTs. You can see my Rarible page right here. I've only got 4 items, but I'm adding one as they go. They're not cheap to make, so I gotta make them as they go. If you want to support the channel other ways, of course, there's Playing Studios merch, which you can see right here on my Teespring store, as well as Amazon. Speaking of Amazon, I have my books up there under Bruce RF, which is my pen name. Life and Times of Dinah Marton, as well as the Guardian's Path of Ascension. You can flip through those and see the reviews, and grab a copy, read it. Tell me what you think. It helps me out as an author. It also helps me out as, everything goes back into the stuff that I'm doing. So more content for you. If you want to keep up with me throughout the day or just kind of see what's going on in life, hit me up on Twitter under BruceRF1. Again, that is my pen name. If you want to see what's going on my blog, ronflowersjr.me, you can see what I'm writing about, what else is going on in life, difficulties that I have with my projects that I'm working on. A lot of my devlog stuff kind of goes there before it comes here, so it's another way of kind of getting into that. I do also have a Patreon where I release content early if you want to get access to things ahead of time, because most of the stuff that I produce, I do things on Sundays and I post on Wednesdays most often, but it goes to Patreon first, so it's kind of there usually a week or so ahead of time, and then it has a release schedule. So if you want to see things early, go there. Let's see, what else is going on? You can also follow me on Facebook under you can do the Lame Duck Studios Facebook or the Bruce RF Facebook. Both of those are available, and a lot of these links are down in the description, so if you want to just hit those up and just click on them and follow them through, that's another way of getting there. Also, we're at 1,300 subscribers. Woo! We're this close to 10,000, but small milestones first. Let's get to 2,000 subscribers, and then we will continue our road building toward that 10,000 milestone. That is going to be pretty awesome for this channel, my humble channel. So yeah, that's all I have for you on this outro. It's a bit of a long one, but a lot of stuff going on. Anyways, stay tuned, and I shall see you next time.